My people, today's story is not just a story. It is a true life reminder, a voice from reality, a warning that came too late from one innocent child. Because sometimes, my people, the danger that kills a man is not always the one he's watching, but the one he ignores. As we say in the old tongue, a spark that is not quenched becomes a flame that seeks revenge. This is the story of how a small habit destroyed a family forever. My people, listen well. Let me take you to Olokoro, a quiet community where everybody knew everybody. A peaceful place where children still ran around barefooted, mothers sold fruits by the roadside, and families lived close enough to hear each other's laughter through the walls. In this community lived a man called Mr. Chima, a tall, hardworking father in his late 30s. He wasn't rich, he wasn't poor. He was simply a man trying to survive, trying to provide, trying to do the right thing. And he had one treasure, one joy, one reason he smiled every morning. His only son, 7 years old Ebuka. My people, this little boy was the heartbeat of that home. A child with bright eyes, restless leg, and laughter that could chase sorrow out of any house. Whenever he spoke with that boldness that only children with pure hearts possess. But this same boy, this same laughter, this same innocent life would eventually be silenced by something so small, so common, so ordinary, a cigarette. My people, abeg, if you dey hear me well, just hit that subscribe button so you no go miss stories wey dey teach and touch heart. E no go cost you anything, but e go help your boy well. Make we continue dey go. Now, Mr. Chima had one weakness in life, smoking. He wasn't an addict. He wasn't smoking 10 packets a day, but he had that everyday stick habit, that normal one in the morning and one in the evening kind of routing. People had warned him, Chima, this thing no good for your health, oh. But he always replied, leave me, I'm in control. I can stop anytime. My people, sometimes it is not the fire you see that burns you. It is the fire you think you control. Inside the house, little Ebuka always followed his father around. He loved helping him, loved imitating him, loved copying whatever daddy did. If Chima was fixing something, Ebuka sat beside him. If Chima was reading newspaper, Ebuka would pretend he was reading too. If Chima was shaving, Ebuka would hold his tiny imaginary razor. That boy loved his father beyond words. But Chima never noticed one thing. Children copy everything, even the mistakes. One day, Ebuka coughed lightly when his father smoked around him. Just a small cough. Nothing big, nothing serious. To Chima, it was normal. To his wife, Amara, it was a red flag. His wife said, honey, please, can you avoid smoking in the house? This boy is always near you. But Chima waved it off. He's fine. Kids cough all the time. My people, sometimes a small cough is not just a small cough. If this story they teach you small small, if they touch you small small, I beg make you just press that like button so YouTube go show the story to more people. My people, it encourage me oh, make we continue dey go. It was a Saturday morning, the sun bright, the air calm, and the whole community bustling with weekend life. Chima was preparing to go to his small mechanic shop. Before leaving, he took a cigarette, lit it, and placed the lighter on the table. He didn't know, he didn't imagine, he never thought that this single moment would reshape his destiny forever. Little Ebuka was sitting close, watching him as usual. But that day, curiosity entered the boy's heart. Just innocent curiosity. To a child, a lighter is not danger. It is a glowing toy, and his father has just used it. Hours passed. Chima went to work. Amara went to the market. Neighbors were busy. Only Ebuka was at home playing. But then he remembered the lighter. He went inside the room, climbed the small table, and took it. He played with it, clicking it open and close, watching the flame fire jump, smiling like every curious child would. But that single moment, that tiny flame, will lead to something no parent ever wishes to witness. My people, before I enter the next part, I dey beg una, abeg press that subscribe button so you no go miss this kind life-changing story. Sometimes, na one story dey save a family from danger. Oya make we continue dey go. Evening came, Chima returned home tired, dusty and hungry. He didn't know anything had happened, but he noticed something. His son wasn't running towards him like always. He wasn't shouting, "Dad is back." He wasn't jumping around. Instead, the boy was lying on the bed, looking weak. "Ebuka, are you okay?" The boy looked at him with half eyes open. "Daddy, I feel tired. My chest is paining me." Immediately, fear gripped Chima. "What happened?" Amara rushing, crying. "He has been coughing since afternoon, and I saw burn mark on the table. Honey, I think he tried using your lighter." The word stopped. Chima's leg trembled. He grabbed his son. "Ebuka, talk to me. What happened?" The boy whispered. "I wanted to do it the way you do it, Daddy." And that was the moment, the exact second, that Chima felt his heart drop ground, because the truth hit him like thunder. His son had tried to copy him. His son had inhaled smoke while playing. His son had burned something in the room, and now the child was struggling to breathe. Little Ebuka lay on the bed, weak and struggling to breathe. His small chest rising and falling as if each breath was fighting to escape the word. Chima carried him immediately. "Amara, open the door. We are going to the clinic now." His voice shook. His hands trembled. But he held that boy tight, tighter than he had ever held him in his life. On the way to the clinic, Chima kept whispering, "Stay with me, Ebuka. Stay with Daddy, please." But the boy only clung to his father's shirt, eyes half closed. As they reached the clinic, they rushed inside. Nurse ran towards them. The doctor, a middle-aged man with glasses slipped down his nose, came quickly. "What happened to the boy?" Amara cried out, pointing to Chima. "He was playing with his father's lighter. He held smoke. He has been coughing and weak since afternoon." The doctor's face tightened. They rushed Ebuka into a small emergency room. Chima stood outside, pacing back and forth like a man with fire under his feet. Minutes felt like hours. Every second sounded like thunder in his ear. Finally, the doctor came out. "Mr. and Mrs. Chima, your son inhaled harmful smoke, and it has affected his breathing. We need to keep under observation." Those words hit them like stones. Smoke? Smoke from what? Then Chima remembered the cigarette he smoked that morning and the lighter he left behind. He held his head, his heart pounding. My God, what has I done?" My people, the elders say, a man who ignores small warnings will one day pay with something he cannot replace. Chima never knew the cigarette he played with would become the same weapon that attacked his son. My people, if this story dey touch you small, just press subscribe so you no miss stories wey dey open your eyes and save life. Oya make we continue dey go. They admitted Ebuka. A small oxygen tube was placed near his nose. The boy's breathing was shallow, slow and heavy. Chima sat beside him holding his tiny hand. Amara sat on the other side weeping silently. Hours passed, night covered the sky like a blanket. Inside that room, you could hear only three things: the beeping of the monitor, Amara's quiet sobs, and Chima's guilty breathing. He held his son's hand and whispered, "Ebuka, my boy, Dad is here." He wiped the tears falling from his eyes. This was a man who had never cried in years. But tonight, his tears came like rain. Around 1 a.m., Amara faced him. Her eyes were shallow. Her eyes were swollen. Her voice was shaking, not from anger, but from the heartbreak. "Chima, how many times did I warn you? How many times did I beg you to stop smoking around him? You left the lighter. You left everything for him to copy." Chima couldn't speak. He swallowed hard, but words refused to come out. Then he whispered, "Amara, I didn't know. I didn't know this would happen." She looked at him with pain that stabbed deeper than a knife. "That's the problem, Chima. You never know. People always say they are in control until the danger touches what they love." Her words tore him apart. Around 3 a.m., Ebuka opened his eyes slightly. "Daddy." Chima rushed forward. "Yes, yes, my son, I'm here." "Daddy, I am sorry. I didn't want to spoil anything." Chima broke down crying instantly. "No, no, no, my boy. You did nothing wrong. I am the one who fed you." The boy blinked slowly, his voice weak. "I only wanted to do it the way you do it, Daddy." Those words stabbed Chima's soul. It was like the universe replayed the child's innocence in slow motion. He held the boy's hand tighter. "Please, Ebuka, just get better. Daddy will stop everything. I promise." But promise, my people, sometimes they come too late. Around dawn, the doctor rushed in. "The condition is getting worse. He's not responding well." Amara screamed. Chima froze. They watched helplessly as nurse moved around. The monitor beeped faster. Ebuka's breathing became irregular. Everything inside that room became chaos. Chima stood there, number unable to move, unable to speak. He whispered, "Please, please, God, don't take my son. Take anything, but not him." But fate, my people, fate had already made its decision. My people, before dawn fully broke, the small clinic had gone silent. Too silent. The kind of silence that frightens the living. The kind of silence that warns the heart that something is shifting in the spirit. In the room where little Ebuka lay, the air became heavy, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. Nurses moved around quickly. The doctor's face had changed. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. Chima stood beside his son, still holding his tiny hand. "Ebuka, it is Daddy. I am here. You will be fine, okay?" But the boy didn't answer. He only breathed. Slowly, weakly, as if the air itself was slipping away from him. Amara placed her head on the boy's chest, crying uncontrollably. "Please, my son, stay with us." But my people, sometimes life is like a candle. A small breeze can end its light. At 5:17 a.m., the machine beside the bed started beeping irregularly. The nurses rushed in. The doctor followed immediately. "Please step aside," he shouted. But Chima refused. "No, I am not leaving my son. I am not going anywhere." They didn't force him. Not this time. He stood there watching the nurses press on his son's small chest, watching the oxygen pump, watching the doctor shake his head in fear. Chima's leg shook violently. His hand trembled. He whispered again and again, "Please, breathe, my boy, breathe. That is here, that is here." But in chaos, in the panic, in the shouting and rushing, the monitor flatlined. A long, straight, merciless sound filled, a sound that will replay in Chima's head for the rest of his life. Amara collapsed on the floor. Her scream tore the air like thunder. No, my son, my baby, please wake up and call me mommy. The nurse held her, tears in her own eyes, and the doctor with a heavy heart placed his hand on Chima's shoulder. Mr. Chima, I am sorry, we lost him. My people, the world went silent. Chima stared blankly. He didn't shout, he didn't collapse, he didn't move. His reply stood like a stone, as if his soul had left his body. He whispered, No, no, not my boy, not my Ebuka. But the world had already shifted. 2 hours later, they left the clinic. But this time, they came home with empty hands. After, no tiny footsteps, no voice shouting, Daddy, no child running into their arms, just emptiness. Amara couldn't stop crying. Neighbors gathered, covering their mouths, whispering, What happened? Ah, God, this is so painful. Chima's only son. But Chima didn't hear anything. He walked straight into the house, into the room, to the small table where the lighter sat. The same lighter, the same object that opened the door to tragedy. He picked it up with shaking hands. He stared at it, as if it were a snake bite his heart. He threw it across the room and fell to the floor. And for the first time, the strong man broke. He cried, he wept, he screamed, he begged the earth to return his child. God, please, take me instead. Bring my son back. Please, please. But the house stayed silent. The little laughter that used to fill the space was gone forever. My people, the elders say, the smoke you tolerated today became the fire that burns your home tomorrow. And another proverb said, when a child copies a man, the child becomes the mirror of that man. Chima never knew, he never imagined that the small habit he thought he controlled would one day demand the highest price. The burial was small, quiet, painful. A tiny white coffin, a grave too small for the dream the boy carried. As they lowered Ebuka into the earth, Chima's leg almost gave way. He dropped to his knees. My son, I am sorry, I am sorry. Neighbors held him, women cried, men sighed heavily, and the world of one man collapsed. From that day, Chima changed completely. He stopped smoking instantly. He didn't touch cigarettes again, not because a doctor warned him, but because his own soul warned him. He began going around the community telling fathers, please, don't let your children grow near illnesses. Don't leave dangerous things around them. Don't assume they wouldn't copy you. Don't say I am in control. I thought I was in control too, until the day I buried my son. People listened. Some cried. Some changed their habit because of his story. And from the pen of one family, a new wisdom spread through the community. My people, if this story touched you for hearts, abeg subscribe and share so other parents fit learn. Sometimes one story fit save a life. My people, listen to me right now. Let this story sink deep. Sometimes danger does not come from outside. It comes from the habit inside our own home. If you have a child, remember, they copy everything, even the things you didn't think they notice, even the things you think are harmless. Your actions are their blueprints. Your mistakes are their lessons. Your habits became their curiosity. Lighter might look small, a cigarette may look ordinary, but a child's life is too fragile to gamble with. My people, hear this final proverb. A child's eyes are always watching. What they watch today becomes who they try to become tomorrow. Protect your children, guide them, remove danger from their reach. Teach them with love, not regret. Because once something happens, once life leaves the body, there is no rewind. My people, thank you for listening. If this story touches you, please like, subscribe and share so this wisdom will reach every parent, every uncle, every family. Together, we can prevent the next tragedy and may the soul of every innocent child remain blessed.